According to a study done by a university student, the probability a randomly selected individual will not cover his or her mouth when sneezing is 0.267. Suppose you sit on a bench in a mall and observe people's habits as they sneeze. What is the probability that among 16 randomly observed individuals, exactly 7 do not cover their mouth when sneezing? And then we got a couple more. We'll hit those as we got them. So we got a binomial experiment here. So let's go ahead and compute this out. I'll do it with StatCrunch and the TI. So question help, StatCrunch. Again, if you start hitting view an example on these, you're going to see major computations, which we're not going to be doing in here. So stat, calculators, binomial, n is 16, p is 0.267, and we want exactly 7. There we go. So rounding to 4 places, it's going to be 0.0676. There's a nice graph of it too. 0.0676. Let's see how to do this on the TI. Clear that out. So we want an exact value, so I'm going to go to distribution and scroll down until I get to binom PDF. So we have 16 for the number of trials, 0.267 for the probability, and we want exactly 7. We get exactly the same thing, 0.0676. So part B, find the probability that fewer than 5 do not cover their mouth. Okay, so let's pull back open StatCrunch. Fewer than 5, easy enough. So I'm going to do less than 5. Again, notice less than 5. I don't include the 5. So notice that less than 5 is exactly the same as less than or equal to 4. It's the same computation, right? Because we have discrete. We don't have anything in between 4 and 5. These are nice counting numbers, whole numbers. So we're going to get 0.5685. Let's pull open the calculator. So second distribution, binom PDF. Or actually, I'm going to do, it's fewer than. So I could do binom PDF on 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 and add those up. Or I can use binom CDF. And I've got 16. P is 0.267. Here, what is the X value? It's fewer than 5, so that means I go up to 4. So I want 4 or fewer. So in your mind, you need to think that, right? You need to think, okay, what's this value? I'm going less than or equal to 4. And we try to illustrate that on the StatCrunch app, that less than or equal to 4 is exactly the same calculation as less than 5. Okay? We get exactly the same answer, 0.5685. So part C, fewer than half of the 16 individuals covering the mouth, would or would not be surprising? Because the probability of observing fewer than half covering their mouth when sneezing is something. So let's think about this. So this is a little tricky to think about, right? Because they've kind of switched it on us a little bit. Because here it's saying fewer than half covering their mouths. And they gave us the probability of not covering their mouth. So here I'm actually wanting greater than half who are not covering their mouths. Does that make sense? Okay, let me think about it a different way. So I just changed it around a little bit. So if 0.267 is the probability that they don't cover their mouth, that means that 1 minus 0.267, which is 0.733, so 73.3% do cover their mouths, right? And we want fewer than 16, or sorry, fewer than half of 16, so fewer than 8 that cover their mouths. So I changed this probability to 0.733. it helps me to think about it this way. So this probability needs to match what we're looking for. Otherwise, you got to flip it around. Fewer than half, which is less than 8, which would be the same thing as if I had said less than or equal to 7, whichever way you like better. Let's keep it this way because I'm getting ready to switch to the calculator. You need to do this. So 0.0118. So it's 0.0118, which is less than, or is an unusual event, because it's less than our sort of arbitrary threshold of 0.05. This is a hard problem. You'll need to think about it and go through it, possibly go through it, another one similar to this. Okay, so I hope that helps. Like I say, let me do the calculator real quick. So fewer than half, I'm going to go back here and do binomial distribution. Binom CDF. 16. And again, for P, you could do 0.267, but I'm going to go with 1 minus that. We can go 1 minus 0.267. That actually gives me the probability of covering their mouths. Again, 0.267 is the probability they don't cover their mouths. So the probability they do is the complement of that, 1 minus 0.267. And that's what I'm asking for here, right? Cover their mouths. The first two asked for not covering, so I was fine using this probability. So we have to be careful that we're actually using the probability that they give. You sometimes have to flip it. And we said fewer than half is exactly the same as 7 or fewer. And we get exactly the same thing, 0.0118. And again, we could have had the calculator be rounding this whole time. If you're going to be doing a bunch of them, it looks like they're all being rounded to 4 decimals. We could have done that. And have it round for us automatically. So I hope that helps.